Guys, what's going on? Gorminator here, talking about shallowing, right? Big deal out there, how to shallow the club. You can do it different ways, but effectively is using the ground force pressures. And so most amateurs, when they get to the top, start to spin the body. What happens is they get on the left heel and the right toe on the downswing, right? So it starts to look like this, up high here, knees out, flex, and turning, and that's going to bring you out in front of the plane. We're all looking to skip a rock, put it on plane, and produce some quality shots. So that right there is quite the opposite of what tour players do. And tour players do this. They get there, and they get on the heel, the inside heel of the right foot, and then they shift diagonally towards the front of the left foot. And so that's a little bit looking like here, and then a shifting to get the club slotted in the G slot here. Everybody wants to get in the G slot because that's where the delivery comes from the inside, meets the ball, center of the club face, okay? So if you're one of those guys that has trouble getting the club to come from inside, have trouble hitting draws, you chunk the ground a little bit too much here and there, you're going to want to learn how to use the ground different. And from this view, what you're doing is you're taking your arms from here and you're spinning onto the toe, the knuckle of the big toe here, and it's pushing the actual tailbone backwards. So the center of gravity, your lower center of gravity, is the middle of your hips, belly button down here, and your spinning is going backwards, and you cannot make a divot forward, and you will probably hit across the ball this way. So it looks like you're moving away from the target when you're hitting, and that's no bueno. So the pros, good players, are going the other way. They're coiling over here, and then they're shifting. So the weight from the inside of the right foot, like jumping off this way, would be correct. And then you pour on the rotation later in the downswing, right? So amateurs that I see quite a bit of are getting the club to the top and then rotating early. And that's not how the club went up. The club went up swinging back, and the hands are kind of low, and then the winding up takes the arms up to the shoulder plane, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing the hands and arms go right off the plane in front and then trying to come down. And so trying to figure out for you guys this movement of the hips via the legs. So you move the knees, keeping the tailbone to the target, let the shift happen, and all of a sudden you can see how I'm moving diagonally towards you. So from this view it would be here. That's correct. You can see me on the heel here, knee flexed over to the toe, diagonal pressure on the ground. And then what I see a lot is this. And that's kind of the modern swing, actually. Modern swing shows a lot of that twisting stuff, a lot of that twisting of the hips this way, and then it's combined with a bunch of side bending of the body. And that's real hard on the body. Too many things to do, and probably a younger body would be able to do it a lot better than most. And so those of you out there that are desk jockeys and or working for a living, don't hit balls every day, that's hard sledding. So if you're being told to kind of unwind your hips level, twist like this, and then drop the club and shallow, that's a lot harder than getting here and shifting like the Hogan style, like the good players do, and slotting it right down on the plane here. See if I can get one for you. Okay, first swing of the day. What do you guys think? Thumb up and a hey, yeah. All right, my students are here, but I just wanted to make that video so you can kind of understand the two differences of, like, you know, one guy that gets away with it, or did get away with it, is Justin Thomas. That guy pirouettes like a ballerina, right? He gets up here like this, and you'll see him hike that sucker up here like here, and then he gets this thing to fall in, but what happened to him? I don't know. I hope he comes back, but, you know, if you do have a pattern that produces good shots, you want to create sameness and continue to do it. And what happens to us out here in the glitter of social media, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have all these places, a Golf Channel, picking up information, right? And so we're jumping around and we're never doing sameness. And so I try to help my students do sameness. I try to do sameness and to stay in your lane. So matter of fact, I did a video the other day with Steve Stricker talking about how he hits all his chip shots with his 60 degree, sometimes a 54. But he says he doesn't use a lot of wrists. He's done the same thing forever. The guy's one of the best wedge players on the planet and always has been. So sameness is good, and getting a pattern that you feel like you can repeat with rhythm and balance is super key. So this shaft here is not in balance because it's not on plane. This shaft is in balance because it's on plane down to the bottom of the plane line where the ball is. There you go. So, little word of advice: shift diagonally to the left and give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. Send some comments after you watch the video and give it a try in the driving range. I want to hear about it, and hope to see you in Mexico. Gorman Golf Tours, taking you to Mexico to play some golf and teach you some of the alignment stuff that'll last forever and hit better golf balls, shoot lower scores.